What's up guys, we are group 9 and today we will be presenting on our project. Our group member have leader Feng Yihong, member me, Kyung Yujo, Lau Hong Kai and Ng Yu Xiang. And this is our project, Toastbox. And Toastbox is divided into 4 parts, which is main body, 2 small drawer and 1 big drawer. Okay. The reason why we choose Toastbox as our project because Toastbox focus on making organization easy by combining everyday use with new idea. By editing features like adjustable part, eco-friendly material, and smart tag, it shows strong engineering skill and a great design. And the function of the Toastbox is a virtual tool for keeping equipment safe, organized, and easy to care. And also it protects expensive tools for getting lost or broken and make it simple to bring everything you need to your job. By keeping tools in the right place, it saves time on repair and help everyone stay safe by making sure no equipment is left laying around. And that's all for me, and next I will pass it to my groupmate Hong Kai. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Lau Hong Kai and we'll be talking about the task distributions in our group members. First of all, will be Feng Ye Hong, which is our group leader. He researched for the 3D model printing, brainstorming for the model ideas, and finalized for our design model layout, which is our toolbox. And after that, he prepared for slides for the work progress and presented in the class, and also researched for dimensions for 3D toolbox for part 1, which is the box. And also he draw it into the bamboo labs and modify the dimensions for the part ones. And once he prints the 3D models in the faculties and also fix the weak and damaged part of the 3D toolbox. And he measure out the actual and error dimensions for the part ones and draft outs and draw it into a CAD for the designs part ones. And also we calculate for the mean and standard deviation for every dimensions and allows you to prepare for the final reports and prepare slide for you. And for the next member will be Kyung Yujo. He research for the 3D model printings and prepares the slides for work progress and also presented in the class. And he researched for dimensions for 3D toolbox for the part 2, which is the small drawers, and also draw it into a bamboo labs and modify the dimensions of part 2 in bamboo labs. And he also prints for the 3D toolbox components in the faculty and complete the final toolbox assembly. And after that, he draft for the 3D toolbox for the part tools and measure out the actual and error dimensions and calculate the mean and standard deviation for every dimensions. And also draw it into the CADs for the part 2 and also prepare the final reports and prepare stuff for it. And for the next members will be me, Mahong Kais, and I done for the research for 3D model printing, brainstorming for the model idea together with all my group members, and also prepare slides for the work progress and presented in the class. And also research for the dimensions for 3D toolbox part for part 3, which is the big drawer. And I draw it into a bamboo labs and modifies the dimensions for the part 3. And after that, I print the 3D toolbox components and complete the final toolbox assembly with my group members, Count Ujos, and I draft out the 3D toolbox parts for the part 3 in the papers and measure out the actual and error dimensions for the part 3 and draw it into the CAD's drawings and calculate out the mean and standard deviations for all the dimensions. And I prepare for the final reports and the slide for reports. And for the last member will be Ng Yu Xiang. He researched for the 3D model printing, brainstorming for the model ideas, and finalized design model layouts together with all the members. And he also prepared for the slides for work progress and presented in the class and research for dimensions for 3D toolbox for the part 1 with the group leaders, our Feng Ye Hong, and also draw it together with Feng Ye Hong for the part 1 in bamboo labs and modifies the dimension for part 1s. And he also went to printing the 3D toolbox components and fix the weak and damaged part with our group leaders and draft out for the 3D toolbox for part 1. And also measure the actual and error dimensions for part 1s and he done for the CAD drawing for part ones and calculate out the mean and standard deviations, and allows you to prepare the slides for final reports. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Yu Sang, and this is our first part of our toolbox, and this is the drawing of our first part. On the left side is our preview of 3D toolbox, and on the right side is our measurement and true value of the toolbox. These are the mean and standard deviation of our first part, which is toolbox, and this is our second part, the small drawer. Is a drawing of our small drawer, and like I say just now, for the left side is our preview of our small drawer, and the right side is our measurement and true value of our small drawer. These are the mean and standard deviation for our small drawer, and this is our third part, which is our last part of our toolbox, the big drawer. And the left side is our 3D preview of our big drawer, and the right side is the measurement and true value of our big drawer. These are the mean and standard deviation of our big drawer, and the item was measured 2 times using a vernier caliper, since slightly difference were observed in the reading. This variation is mainly due to human factors such as eyes positioning when reading the scale and the pressure applied during the measurement. The mean value represent the average measurement, while the standard deviation shows how consistent our measurement were. In some case, the standard deviation was higher because it is difficult to position the vernier caliper in exactly the same way every time. To reduce this issue, we repeat the measurement and use the average value, which give a more reliable result. That's all from me.
Hi, I'm Feng Yihong, and I will explain about the process of measurement. So we have 4 parts: the toolbox, the one big drawer, and 2 small drawer. So the toolbox first. So first, we will place the toolbox on a stable surface, and then we will measure the main dimensions: length, width, and height. And then we will measure the detail features, and then we will repeat all the measurements 3 times. Once we calculate our mean and standard deviation, and then we will record our results. So next is a big drawer. So it's just the same process. So we will place a big drawer on a stable surface, and then measures internal dimensions, measure detail features, repeat 3 times, and then calculate the mean and standard deviation, and then we will record the results. So it's the same with the small drawer. So because we have 2 small drawers, so at last we will repeat with another drawer and record the results. So what can we obtain from our group work? So it's just a conclusion. Using a vernier caliper, the toolbox dimensions were measured systematically with repeat measurements and statistical analysis used to improve accuracy and reliability. So that's all from us. Thank you.